Hello and welcome back. So today, as you can see, I'm going to be working on my herb garden, and it is a complete mess full of weeds, grass. There's a few good things. I've got some thyme in here, some basil left over, and quite a bit of sage. I'm going to go through, clean it up, plant my new rosemary plant. I've got quite a few seeds to plant, and this is probably part 2 to last week's episode. So last week I redid my veggie garden, and that also was a complete mess. I planted lots of seeds and seedlings, and they're all growing really well. So check that video out if you haven't yet, and at the end of this video I will do an update on my veggie garden because all the seeds have started to grow. Anyway, let's dive straight into this. I'm going to start by cleaning up all these weeds. I'll do a little time lapse and see when this looks a little bit better. Alright, so now that all that rubbish is out, we can actually see what we've got left here. So there's a lot of sage, and down here, get out of this one. Down here, I'm pretty sure those are some little shallots, or some green onions. There is quite a bit of parsley here now, the flat leaf parsley, and a little bit of basil, which I probably will end up removing because it doesn't look too good. There's all these woody, stalky bits of parsley which I removed, but there's actually lots of little small new plants coming up which I will obviously keep. In the front here is my thyme, and then over there that's all Thai basil. So what I'm going to do is I am going to use my little tool, similar to it's like a mini rake, and I'm just going to mix up all the soil just so it's all nicely kind of aerated. The soil looks pretty good. I'll probably add a little bit of potting mix in just to help richen it up. And aside from that, I have my mint here, which is in a pot, of course, otherwise it goes a bit crazy. Over here in a pot is my bay tree. It's great in Italian cooking or Mexican or a lot of different things actually. I'm going to clean up that pot and put my rosemary in there. And then here is my Caffei lime tree, which I love. Again, I'll pull out some of those weeds. These are great in all Thai curries. The leaves are really interesting. The leaves smell amazing and taste amazing. And as you can see, I've got a few fruit on there, and the fruit are really good in, you actually use the skin. The skin does not look like a lime. That's obviously small, but they get really bumpy and look really weird, and they are really nice to use bits of the skin in curry paste, and you blend them up and they just have the nicest kind of limey flavor. Alright, so let's have a quick run through of what I'm going to plant. I've got 5 seeds that I'm going to plant. Over here, next to my existing, I'm pretty sure they're shallots, I'm going to plant some rocket. So in Australia it's rocket, in America arugula. I'm going to plant the seeds all the way along the side there, and they're great. I can just cut it when I want it and use it in salads and whatever else. Over here is all my sage. In front of there I'm going to plant only a few more spring onions, considering that I've got some small spring onions on the other side. I'm going to do some coriander, which in America is cilantro, just along the front. I've got my parsley, existing parsley there, existing thyme here, and at the back I'm thinking I might put in a little bit more parsley. I'll see, I'm not sure. I won't plant a lot because I've already got all these little plants growing. Over here is my Thai basil. Again, great in Thai stir fries or really lots of different Thai foods. It has a bit of a aniseed or licoricey kind of taste. Down here I am going to plant some chives. I haven't grown chives much before, but I'm going to give them a go. The shallots grow really well, the spring onions grow well, so the chives should. Now, as you would have seen, the coriander slash cilantro and the green onions, shallots, were in seed mats and seed tape. And it depends, you can get different varieties if it's just loose seeds or if they're in the mats. The mats are really easy because it automatically spaces it for you, and you just bury the paper. You rip off as much as you want, bury it in the paper dissolves, and they grow up already kind of spaced. So it's a bit easier, faster, and a good even way to plant it. Alright, so now I've planted all the seeds, all in here. I've also planted my rosemary bush. I just mixed up the soil that was in this pot, put some fertilizer in the herb garden here, in the rosemary pot, put the rosemary in, and now I'm going to give everything a really good water, and then I'll take you guys down to the veggie garden and we'll check out what's going on down there. Okay, so we're back down here at the veggie garden. Let's have a little bit of an update. So unfortunately it looks like the turkeys came in here and a couple of little things have been dug out a bit and pulled out. I put those back in this morning, but other than that, everything's looking good. Everything's kind of starting to grow really well, so I'll take you around and we'll have a look. So let's start at this end where we have our lettuce, and you can see all those new shoots coming up, which is very exciting. Now if we move along a bit further, this is where I planted the Brussels sprouts, and the plant, as you can see, was pulled out. I've replanted it, but it looks like it may have been pulled out again. It does not look too good, but I did plant lots of seeds too, so hopefully we are all good there. Yeah, so these are the Brussels sprout seeds and some carrot seeds, which are all going really well. That is my garlic. Now those were seedlings, they are still looking nice and healthy. Moving on down a bit more is my celery, and I planted some leeks, and you can see, we'll look closely, there's some little shoots coming up, and again the leeks are looking really good. These are the leek seedlings that I planted. They're also looking okay. I probably need to keep the water up a little bit. That is my existing rosemary bush down here, and then over here is the pak choi that I planted, and again they're looking good. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you really enjoyed it, and I hope you guys stick around and subscribe and check on the updates in probably a couple of weeks. Similar to the update down here in the veggie garden, I'll do a bit of an update on the herbs and show you what's going on, and then later in maybe a couple months I will show you when I'm harvesting some veggies and all that, and maybe I'll cook something, and yeah. So if you liked it, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.